Okay. Hi, everyone. It's me, Darragh, here from the COVID Alarm Clock podcast with Ellen.
Hi.
So we just said we'd make a video because we don't have an episode coming out this week. And yeah, we said we just sort of post a video sort of midway through our series.
Yeah. And we just wanted to say, look, just thank you so much for all of the support and the kind words. And, we really appreciate people who have taken the time to like and share the podcast. It means
Yeah,
a lot to
yeah.
us.
And the feedback from people we know and don't know has been lovely in equal measure. If this is your first time encountering the COVID Alarm Clock podcast, basically what we're doing is our series is about how we can use our experience of the COVID crisis to help us better tackle the climate crisis. So we have released 3 episodes so far looking at different issues, and we have 4 more episodes to come.
Yeah. And we look at things like, so the first we've looked at the time lag and the science and the politics, the parallels between COVID and climate change. And next week, we have the power coming out. And when I
And
mean power, I mean power.
and then we have media, the economy, and kind of a big picture sort of ecology one at the end to wrap it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we decided to do this podcast because Darragh and I met doing a master's in climate change, and Darragh's finished.
So I finished up the masters and I was looking for something to do, and obviously with COVID it's all a bit different and it's hard to get active. So I thought this could be a
I
great
wasn't
way
looking
of
for, I wasn't looking for something to do.
but agreed to do it, and I think at this stage you're glad you decided
I
to
know,
do it, Ellen.
absolutely. I'm delighted.
Yeah, so we were chatting and came up with this idea, and we got a friend of mine, Rob Cotter, on board to edit and produce it, who is fantastic. And we've learned loads. We've learned loads doing the series as well.
Yeah.
Ellen, is there anything in particular you've learned that you'd like to share?
I learned how much bigger a billion is than a million. So I know on paper, but I've learned how much bigger it is.
Yeah,
If you wanted to earn a billion, it's a lot more difficult than earning a million.
Yeah, so I think that's coming in episode 6.
What about you, Darragh?
I think the big thing that I learned was that when we talk about episode 3 that we've just released about politics and the importance of that speech that Leo Varadkar gave, and how everyone was on different pages until that speech was made. And that's basically where we are with tackling the climate crisis at the moment, that everyone is in a different place, that it's really urgent and people don't realize. And that was just such an important thing for me to understand about where I was with taking climate action and where I fitted into the bigger picture. I think, that was a huge realization for me.
That's really,
yeah. And I suppose the other thing to say is that so much has changed since we started the series. So we started recording in November, December, and we were kind of thinking that we were over the worst of COVID,
and then Christmas over us.
And then obviously that wave came in and hit. So it's interesting. So we've had a feature from time traveling future Ellen to come back and correct us in episode 3, and I think I do some time traveling in episode 5. And anything else that's sort of changed, Ellen?
I suppose the one thing that kind of struck us when we started putting the podcast posts up on social media was that they all came plastered with a COVID alert.
Yeah, so even if we have the word COVID in a picture we post, it comes up with a COVID warning, which is brilliant. It's brilliant, but it's also really noticeable that you can post anything you want about climate change. You could say
there's no fact checking.
So you could say climate change is being caused by magpies or whatever. No, and we can. But then if we post something about COVID, it puts up the warning, which is a really good thing to see. but also maybe in hindsight we would have given the podcast a different name so we could share it more easily. But I think that's just to say then, if you do like the podcast, do please make sure to share it and spread the word. And thanks so much to everyone who's listened so far, and hope you enjoy the rest of it.
Yeah, and thanks for watching.
Yeah, and happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yay! Lá féile Benedictina féile páraigh oribh go léir.
Slán agaí.
Slán.